Welcome to the Edge of NFT podcast with your hosts, Jeff Kelly, Ethan Janney, and Josh Krieger. We aim to bring you not only the top 1% of what's going on with NFTs today, but what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts and the business side, but also the human element of how NFTs are changing the way we interact with the things that we love. This podcast is for the futurists and dreamers, the disruptors and creators, the fans and connectors, and the makers and doers that are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next.
Let's hit it. First one, LinksDAO NFT Sale books the first 10 million toward buying an actual golf course. All right. Well, maybe this is your way to your mountain, Masha. We'll see. Country clubs and NFTs collided Sunday when LinksDAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, became one step closer to buying its own crowd-funded golf course. DAO successfully sold out all of its debut collection of NFTs, raising 10.5 million to fund the project's operation. Further capital will have to be raised to buy the actual golf course, said project lead Michael Dudas. Yeah, I mean, it's really I've noticed this. I'm sure a lot of people have, that it's like NFTs have sort of turned into this sort of interesting next level Kickstarter, right? I mean, it's certainly a lot different than Kickstarter, but it does offer, you can basically integrate everything there is within a Kickstarter campaign into an NFT project and more, right? And do all sorts of cool things with it. So, what do you think, Masha? Should we do this for your ski resort?
That would be amazing.
This seems like a natural combination. You've got old regime, sort of old country club sort of concepts, and you've got this Web3 crowd that wants to upset the apple cart. So I'm not really surprised about this. I've heard ruminations of people I know that wanted to do this. I don't know if they're part of LinksDAO or not. If they are, congrats. If they aren't, you know, there's still room for many more country clubs to turn into DAOs. But yeah, I mean, I think this is interesting. I just saw an article that someone's trying to buy Blockbuster from one of the DirecTV, I think, owns it right now, and turn it into a streaming service again. These are fun examples of what's possible with Web3. Sachi, any thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of these ideas actually float around whenever I go to a lot of these like crypto conferences. Like, I remember one of my friends mentioned like creating a DAO where they would buy a castle. And basically like this DAO would have these tokens which would represent like ownership of part of that castle, and people would just come together and hang out at that castle, which I thought was a really interesting idea. I know, like in terms of other things that are more common, like one of my friends is working on this house called Alpha House. So basically it's like a working space, and it's based specifically in like New York, and it's a place for people to kind of like come together, hang out, share projects or ideas within the crypto space. So yeah, it's a very common idea. I've seen a lot of people work on that, especially like a general like common area for working together, or like it's basically like a WeWork but in the Web 3.0 space. Yeah.
Yeah, also if you think about those DAOs purchasing things together, and you think of just how normally we've been doing it. For example, there is a Temple of Light temple at a house in Tulum. I think there's about 50 owners. Everybody put a little bit of money, then they renovated it and they're going to sell it for 3x the amount of money they put for renovations and the cost of the property. And it's 50 of them, and maybe 10 main managers, and the 40 are investors. And they have the Temple of Light in Tulum. But what's the difference between this Temple of Light being acquired by these people and being managed by this community and DAO? Like, I don't see a difference.
I just hope these DAO property ownership groups can do an improvement upon my condo association. That's all I'm saying. You know.
Nice. We can only hope.
All right, let's get on to the next one. So this one's really cool and really exciting for all of us here. Global search interest for NFT surpassed crypto for the first time ever. For the week ending on Christmas, global searches for the term NFT have surpassed crypto, according to Google Trends, right? The sharp increase in search traffic for NFTs offers clear indication that digital collectibles have entered mainstream consciousness, with transaction as OpenSea, most popular decentralized platform for NFT auctions, and drops surpassing 10 billion. So this, I guess what's interesting to me about this is that we've seen this has been an incredible year for NFTs. And in some senses, I think, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm wondering like what's going to happen for 2022, right? Is there going to be a new something else that captures people attention and sort of takes the stage? And it's interesting to see that it's almost like there's evidence here that maybe we're just getting started with the exposure NFTs are getting in mainstream culture.
It's a good segue to NFT LA, Ethan. March 28th to 30th, we'll be discussing, you know, what's springing up in the spring for the NFT future. But that's really remarkable news. Not something I would have expected necessarily this year, but NFT is one of the new words being added to the dictionary, and I think that the big brands joining the foray at the end of the year is definitely a sign of interesting things to come.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Do you guys follow stats like that? Masha, I know DeFi trends was a big part of your history there. Like, how do you look at like, you know, key words like this that come up in your day-to-day life?
Well, for the DeFi trends, we're looking into social media, Twitter, Telegram, all kind of apps, and see we have AI mechanisms, we have data scientists, analysts, robots doing it, and seeing whether it's bullish or bearish, depending on the crypto and what's going on with the NFT space. We're partnering up right now with some of the cool projects in the space and provide them data analytics. So if anyone is interested in free analytics for your company, your exchange, your platform, reach out to Joshua and he'll connect you to DeFi Trends. And for just in general, I mean, I'm reading the news. I like reading what Messari has into the blog, and just seeing what are the trends. Like right now, the NFT, the DAO are the big trends. What's next? It's exciting to see what's going to be the next big thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think NFTs are a way to kind of onboard more people within the crypto space. Like I think before it can be hard to wrap your head around like what DeFi is. Unless, like, I guess for me, it was a bit more intuitive because, you know, I was working in traditional finance and I know like what it means for like what APY is or what a bond is, or what interest rates are. Like a lot of that lingo also like transfers over in DeFi, and I don't think the normal person, the average person necessarily uses those terms. But I think NFTs are like a really easy way to just like wrap around your head, like just having an image on your phone and showing it around your friends. Like that's a lot easier to do. Like you can't really just show your Ethereum to your friends. And I think NFTs are a way to really like onboard like the mass population, which I think is really the next step with crypto, because I don't think it's really reached like mass adoption yet.
Yeah. Anything. Yeah. And I think that's part of why, like, even some of the projects that are just pure fun, some of the PFP projects or other projects where maybe there isn't much utility even, but just fun, because that gets people into the space. That's the door, right, that you walk through, and then you start to go down the rabbit hole, and everything changes once you do that, I think, for most people. So yeah, that's what it's about to me.
I always remember when we had Major Dream Williams on the podcast. He said something interesting around what you just said, Jeff. He said, "Follow the cool." You
There
know,
it is.
like you can't buy cool, and all the monies will always follow where the cool is, right? So interesting to keep track of that.
Totally.